Bonjour everyone, I'm Ariel with Urbanist. This is a show where we explore the history of cities all around the world. And we're revisiting the Musée du Louvre, one of the most visited museums in the entire world, in Paris, France. And we're going to just stroll around because I already told you the history of the Louvre before from the outside. Then we went inside and learned about the epic mysteries of the Mona Lisa. However, today we're just going to stroll around the Louvre as you would do if you were casually visiting it. May you be a Parisian local or a tourist from abroad. We're just gonna go without any direction, without any purpose, without any agenda. Very little history today, just admiring the art. However, I started in one particular place, right by one of the most beautiful views of the Louvre itself. Its centerpiece, the winged victory statue of Samothrace, right in front of us in the halls of the Louvre. Welcome everyone. Hello Kay. Hello Barrius. Hello Amanda. Hello Tuba. Hello everyone else. Tuba, I'm so happy you were able to tune in live. Welcome everyone. Nice to see you here. We are in the halls of the Louvre. So, if you want to learn about the history of the Louvre or the history and the mysteries of the Mona Lisa, go to the previous two broadcasts I did about the Louvre. Today, we're just going to do a bonus wander through the Louvre. We're going to learn a little bit about the winged victory, but then we're just going to go anywhere where we flow for just one entire hour. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want me to focus on any details. Feel free to help me guide around this beautiful museum. What time is it in Paris? Right now it's 12:40 p.m. in Paris. So we are 6 hours ahead of New York City. I'm not sure what time is in Pakistan. Let me know what time is in Pakistan. So here we are in the Louvre, but this is by far the most beautiful view I've ever encountered. Absolutely fell in love with it. First time I came here, and coming here again, I'm so happy to take all of you here. Good morning, Helen. So before we get to that room, let me show you a little bit more of the statues. Beautiful marble statues from the Greco-Roman era. These are Roman statues. Hello, Brian from London. Here is one of the courtyards. Remember when we walked outside, there's two courtyards that we can't see from the outside because they are covered up. This is one of the courtyards in the most newer part of the Louvre, aside from the pyramid, was the one built by Napoleon III back in the 1800s. And this is one of the courtyards. But here on the other side, we have the pyramid. Hello from Alicante, welcome. Guy from Alicante. Hello Brian, nice to see you here. Glad you're tuning in from London. Hello Raphael, so happy you can tune in. Alright everyone. So this is one of the most prized treasures of the Louvre. The winged victory from Samothrace. No one really knows who built this. There's a few theories, but it dates back to 2nd century BC. However, as we get closer, it doesn't look quite from the 2nd century BC. It looks much more modern. A lot of the different aspects about this statue seem something that would come out of the workshop of Rodin or the many other sculptors of the 18th century. The Louvre itself inside is just a gorgeous, gorgeous building. Look at how huge the halls are. Hey Gail, you were catching up on last night's videos. It was great. Hope you're enjoying Paris and the food. Indeed, yeah, I am. Oh, sorry about that. Hello, Rosalind. Hello, Felicita. Doing well. Hello, Sven. Cue the Baroque music. I think it's appropriate. Some Debussy is here. Ladies and gentlemen and people of all genders, is the Wing Victory. Now, I mentioned this looks way more contemporary than the 2nd century BC. While 2nd century BC, most of the sculptures were the Roman ones we saw earlier before. This one feels like it's in the middle of movement. Well, it's definitely sculpted that way. But another thing is, look at the fabrics. You can actually see the fabrics, and you can see how translucent the fabrics are right over here. Oh, right over here. Look at that. Oh, lots of people getting in front. Gail, this is my second time in Paris. I went many, many years ago. Very short time, so I didn't really absorb it too much. So look at the folds of the fabric. As I mentioned, it looks like something out of the workshop of Rodin, the famous sculptor from the 1800s, 1900s. Now, there's a few theories of where this comes from. Most people can agree this comes from Samothrace, which was a tiny little island that belonged to the Ottoman Empire. But what is she doing? Well, some people said that she was holding the trumpet triumphantly, probably at the end of some battle. However, recently they found the hand. So they excavated the statue back in 1865. And they found only a few pieces. All the pieces that the Louvre found are right here. However, the Austrians found another piece, which is the hand. And the hand seems raised up in this sign of glory. Look at those wings. The base itself is also very impressive. So as I mentioned, you can see the inside of her leg, and then you can see the folds of the fabric. And then you can see how the fabric has these two layers. So you can see the outside of the fabric, and you can see also the inside of the fabric. Gail, you inspired me to go. I'm only a half an hour away. Oh, an hour and a half away. Yes, I hope you do visit. The wings are held up by supports. And mind you, this is 2nd century BC. That's 200 BC. That's 200 years before Christ. There's angel imagery here, which is usually frequently associated with the New Testament. There are angels also in the Old Testament as well. It's interesting to see angel imagery in something made in some tiny little island off the coast of Turkey. So fascinating. I wonder how that type of imagery got there. It goes to show how often sometimes this world was much smaller than we actually think it was. Beautiful. All right, everyone. Let's continue walking through. Just random for 1 hour. If you want me to focus on anything, let me know. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Beautiful marble. We see the LL insignia, King Louis. I mean, there's a beautiful art all around the Louvre, but the Louvre itself it's art. Unlike many other museums where the building doesn't speak too loudly on purpose because you don't want it to overpower the art, somehow the Louvre just maintains that perfect balance of being a gorgeous building that also envelops you into the art, not distracts you from it. Oh, here's another courtyard. Oh, this one's in repair. Interesting. So there are audio guides. I haven't done the audio guide specifically for the Louvre. However, audio guides in art museums are usually awesome. Most of the time, they have really great information on all the paintings. And sometimes they do really great storytelling. Always look up. Wow. I mean, really, always look up. Look at that. I think the works of art are more up than they are around. So here we have insignias or not insignias, engravings of famous architects in Parisian history. Whoa, okay. Oh, wow. So, remember when we did a video outside the Louvre? I talked about the Grand Galerie, which is the huge expansion that King Louis XIV commissioned in order to... Actually, King Henry II, King Henry II commissioned in order to connect the Louvre fortress all the way to the Tuileries Gardens and Palace. Well, here it is. A quarter-mile long gallery. This is way bigger and way longer than most galleries in the entire world. This is basically what you would call a ground scraper. A ground scraper would mean, rather than a tall building, it's a very long building. So brace yourselves. I mean, it's all the way down there. Look at that. Whoa. You can imagine coming back here in the early 1800s, all the way until about 1920s. Painters coming here, taking out their canvases, their easels, and their paintbrushes, and just studying the paintings and making their own copies, trying to learn from the great masters. And Gail, that's a long walk. It really is a long walk. We're gonna do a part of it. 'Cause, I don't want to retract back. I want to go to the other sections. If you're tuning in, let me know where you are watching from, and have you been to the Louvre before? If so, what's your favorite painting aside from the Mona Lisa? Oh, the man has I think it's called rheumatitis. I forgot the name of the disease. Very similar to what JP Morgan had. Oh, that man was having a bad day. Very, very bad day. So you can see how huge this place is. If you were to spend 30 seconds to see every single painting, stand, appreciate it for 30 seconds, you would take more than a lifetime, a little bit over 100 years to accomplish that feat. So it is impossible for any human until we discover immortality to do that. So don't think you'll be able to see the entire museum. Just concede to the fact that this museum will be much larger than your own human lifespan, and enjoy the pieces that you come across, or go specifically to the pieces you want to see. Look at this. Gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful painting. I love it. Wow, that's a great perm. He looks a lot like Garfunkel. That's so cool. It has great detail on the hair as well. You usually don't see that much great detail on curly hair with these older sculptures, older busts. Oh, it's an infinity mirror. There's two sides of the mirror, so it goes on for infinity. Okay, everyone, tell me when to turn. I'll do the next turn when someone says turn. And we'll turn. So it seems like it used to be open to the public to go on these. I wish I could turn exactly here. I'll turn on the next one. Thank you, Rocky. But it seems like you were able to go out in the balcony before. And here are the statues of the balcony. Oh, so cool. On this side, most of the men are men of the revolution, men of science, men of arts. On this side of the court, so the statues might include like the likes of Poisson or Descartes or etc., many others. Oh my God, that's a big head. That's a huge head. Oh, look how gorgeous this is. Look at the beautiful lighting. Almost like very much like Rembrandt. Oh, amazing. Yes, Jane, it can. Take out your Facebook app, and I think there should be a little TV icon in the top, and boom, you'll be able to see me on your big smart TV. You can do that with any Google Cast or anything similar. So yeah, if you want to see this on the big screen, go for it. So it's funny, you said turn, but there is no turns. This gallery is really long. The Louvre is wonderful, yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at this side. Well, we're coming up on one soon. I mean, we crossed the entire gallery. Yeah, we did. I don't think there's a way back. We have to like walk back. We have to backtrack. Oh, that's crazy. I'm surprised they don't keep it darker. So there is skylights here. That's the cool thing. I think these are skylights. They might not be, actually. They look like fluorescent lighting. They make it look like skylights, actually. But there's these huge windows, so that's why it's very brightly lit. But there are sections that are a little bit darker, especially when you go into more ancient history, which I would like to go to. There is usually more darker rooms. Gretchen, I'm so happy you were able to tune in live. I love the little booths here right by the windows. You can sit down and relax and enjoy the views. Ooh. So downstairs, it's Arts d'Afrique. Let's go there. Let's see how we can get down there. There are bathrooms here, but however, there are no water fountains, so be sure to bring water with you. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so glad we bumped into this one. Well, Rocky, you're watching very early. I appreciate you tuning in this early of time. Oh, wow, everyone. Just take a look at this painting. One of the most famous paintings by Giovanni Paolo Panini. And it's called The Gallery of Views of Ancient Rome. It was painted in 1758. Wow. So talk about a painting within the painting, within even more paintings. That is really impressive. There's at least 3 layers because there's a painting there with a mural inside that painting. there's another one there with another painting within that painting. Mark, the weather is beautiful today, 71 degrees Fahrenheit, very sunny. Carmen, can you imagine the people have to keep all those paintings clean and dusted? Yes. The Louvre employs a huge amount of conservation workers and woodworkers. There's woodworkers and carpenters that maintain the frames as well. And the frames usually are original. I would say with the majority of paintings, they do keep the original frames. Just look at the immense detail. Wow. Here's the the Pantheon of Rome, not the one of Paris. Colosseum. Probably Trajan's home. Probably. Looks like it. And we got the men actually painting as well. Absolutely astonishing. Wow. What is it? Beautiful. Well, here we're getting some amazing paintings. Hello, Julie. So glad to catch me live. Oh, thank you. And Rocky, I hope you get sound back. You can always watch the replay or refresh the page. Look at that. This is a night at the opera. We have the clergy in the front. The red hats. Hello, Akila from Philadelphia. Ooh, a lot of people tuning in very early over there in the U.S. Welcome for a nice early morning broadcast. If you're just tuning in, we are at the Louvre. Enjoying all the beautiful paintings. We're in the European section. Lots of paintings from Italy. I think these are mostly Italian. They look like it. Again, no research I did for this broadcast. If you want to learn about the history of the Louvre, go to the previous two broadcasts after this one, of course. We're just wandering around for an hour. Oh, that's what I had for breakfast. So here's a perspective of the room we just walked through. 30 years ago, they had one day in the week that was free. Yes, Rocky, that's still the case, luckily. And that's on Fridays. Fridays, it is free to come into the museum. You still have to make reservations, though, but it is free to come into the museum. However, the museum pass is still useful because you can skip the line. Could anyone let me know what time it is? What time it is in Paris? Let's go downstairs. Can we go downstairs? There's probably stuff downstairs. We're gonna go down to like the African and Orient section. So yeah, let's check it out. Cool thing about the Louvre is that it's great for wandering around. You'll easily bump into new artworks. Huge room down here. 1210, 110. Okay, cool. So it's at 10. Gonza, siempre mirando mi video. Gracias por mirando. Guy from Spain. Thank you so much for telling me the time. If anyone would be so kind, let me know when it is 45 minutes, 1:45, because that's when I have to go in order to go to the 3 p.m. location. So stay tuned for that. It'll be La Défense and the modern architecture of Paris. So if you're a Spanish-speaking viewer, on Friday 6:30 p.m., Paris time, I'm doing a bilingual podcast. Si tú estás mirando en español, el viernes a las 6:30 p.m. tiempo de París, voy a hacer una emisión que en inglés y en español, con guía turístico, la historia de arte en español. Es un señor que es de España y voy a caminar con él. I'm going with a tourist guide who's from Spain, knows all the art history here in Paris, and we're just going to walk around and speak both in English and Spanish. So if you want to watch something a little bit more Spanish, que ve algo más español, a las 6:30. 6:30 el viernes. Yes. 6:30 on Friday. We're gonna go around the areas of the Louvre, talk about the art history in Spanish. Yes, the Museo d'Orsay is still across the street. It's closed today. I was hoping to go. Oh, look at this. Wow. So he used the art of Africa, everything from Nigeria, Cameroon, Guinea, Gabon, Madagascar, basically all the places that France had a colony in. Thank you, Dawn, I appreciate it. Feeling a little bit under the weather, I must admit. So after today's 3 p.m. broadcast, I'm going to take a nice, good rest. But I hope you're enjoying this walk through the museum. Feel free to ask me any questions. Is there any Degas? Off the top of my head, I don't think so. There's no Impressionists here in the Louvre. The Impressionists are in the Museo d'Orsay, and I think a few others. So, Orsay can't film inside, unfortunately. But I'll try to find some museum, maybe Museo de Rouen, which is nearby. They might allow me to film inside. I'll check. Stay tuned later in the week. Here, not at all. It's okay to film inside as long as you're not making money off the video, which I am not. This is more for journalistic reasons, so no, not at all. You can film in the museum, no one tells you anything. And in the website, it specifically says that video is allowed, which is awesome. It's very rare for a museum to explicitly say that. Some museums don't care, like museums in London don't care. But here they specifically allow it. Yeah, or say it's very strict. So no, unfortunately not. Is this an actual human skull? Oh wow. It's an actual human skull. Also cool. An area where you can like see videos. Oh wow. That is amazing. Here is Easter Island Head from an island very far away from the coast of South America, one of the most remote islands in the entire world. I never thought I would see this in person until I would go to Easter Island. Oh, that's crazy. So, one, Paris is much emptier in August. Two, a lot of people don't come to the sections that are like more of the Orient, which is the word that they use, by the way, of Polynesia, of Africa. All these other areas tend to not get so much traffic. Basically, all the museums. But look at this, an Easter Island head. So these are the heads that stand in Easter Island, which is far away from the coast of South America, very far away. One of the most remote islands in the entire world. People lived there, but they went completely extinct just a few short years before the Spanish came. And the cool thing is these heads, we see only the heads superficially above the ground. However, they are actually full bodies. So we're just seeing the head. This head probably just fell down and collapsed after a while. But the ones still standing in Easter Island go down at least 6 to 9 feet below ground as a full body with foot. So from head all the way to foot, but we only see the heads. Goes to show, how did they do that? In an island where there was not that much stone, it was very tiny, not that much good food. It's one of the world's mysteries. Amazing, I'm so happy we bumped into this. That's so cool. Easter Island is on your bucket list? Me too. One day you'll see a Urbanist live video from Easter Island. You're so welcome, Dawn. And we stayed at Dumni Vendôme, which was wonderful. Yeah, it does make you think of the movie Night at the Museum. Did they have an Easter Island head in the film? I'm not sure. I've never seen one in the Met. No, I don't think there's one in the Smithsonian. But let me know. I'm staying the 13th arrondissement. I'll be showing you the Airbnb that I'm staying at the end of my stay, probably the 27th of August. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'll show you more. Gretchen says aliens. Well, I think it might be a little bit more complicated than that. If you want to like learn a little bit more, watch my Rat Rock video from Central Park. I talk about the last ice age. So that's controversial. A lot of people say that the people that lived there were the Spanish once they arrived. I think it was the Spanish, or it might be the British. Someone can confirm with me, but I think it was the Spanish. When the Spanish arrived, a lot of people say that they were built by those people who were still inhabiting but were near extinction. The reason is that they were starving to death even before the Europeans arrived to that island. They had very few resources and they were just dying off. And I think at first they called it Rat Island because the only thing that they were eating were rats. So the thing is, those people say that they didn't build it. Those people who lived there say that someone else did. Similar to the stone circles in France and the stone circles in England, people say that other people built it. Yes. Just English.
You?
For me, yeah, for me. Yeah. So this video is for personal use only. I'm just sharing it with family. Okay, so we have to retrack. And Gretchen, do I have to speak so quietly? Well, it was very quiet downstairs, so I tried to respect the nice and peace and quiet that people are having in the specific room. But this room, you see the people are a lot much louder. Oh wow. Dawn? Well, not so much. Depends. Generally not. Sometimes when I'm going from one side of the city to the other, then it could be a little bit daunting, but otherwise. Okay, no worries. Luckily, there's always replays. So just for perspective, this is how the gallery looks inside. Strong forearms. This is how the gallery looks inside. This is how big the Louvre Actually, let me show you how big the Louvre is. Look at that. So we're gonna make the next turn to go to this other gallery here. Oh, Guy, thank you so much for alerting me. I have to go at 1:45. Dawn, oh yes, I will. And thank you so much for your contribution. I think it was another Dawn. But yeah, I will have pastries indeed. Gretchen, it depends. Sometimes I do love making these videos. The reason I'm making them is because I love doing them. And I love sharing the history and talking about it. Do I like walking by myself? Sometimes. It depends. I do it sometimes. Yeah, it really does depend. Museums, I really don't actively go by myself unless if I'm super interested in it. The museums I tend to really like going by myself are the ones either with very ancient artifacts or about cinema. Those I just enjoy going on my own. Otherwise, when it comes to showing all of you this, it's so much fun to do it on live video at the same time. I appreciate the sentiment, Don. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's two Dons that watch my show. They did, Rocky. Watch my original Louvre broadcast. I know you started just following yesterday, but I did Louvre outside and the Mona Lisa inside 2 days ago and talked all about the history and the Louvre. And since you're a supporter, you're going to see a bonus video about the pyramid at night. Don, you're the original Don. There's only one sunset, but there's two dawns. Oh. Here he is. Here's Pan. Pan was the god of mischief, sex, and wine. But in Greek mythology, he was always seen as something positive. A little bit mischievous, right? Like similar to Loki, but always ultimately with some benevolence. However, Pan later on, especially in the European times, started getting a more evil look to him. Of course, by that time, Europe was mostly Christian, and that evil look to him, with those very long ears, sinister mustache, was when Pan started becoming more associated with Satan. And Satan's image, or the the Middle Ages conception of Satan, which Satan came from Lucifer, who was the angel that fell down from heaven. The Middle Ages conception of Satan mostly came from Pan rather than the angel Lucifer. And Pan, with his goat hind legs, ended up becoming what we see as the devil today. You know, the big red guy with the horns, long ears, pointy goatee, and the hind legs. Oh, Dawn, yeah, I went to Rockefeller Center for your son. I remember that. That was such a fun time. And Rocky, without internet, people had to do other things to fill their time. Indeed. I think if I didn't have internet, I'll be writing more, making documentaries. Be still filming, nonetheless. I'm not speaking all the entire way through. I just don't have that much to talk about, but maybe that's why my voice seems to be cutting off. Also, there might be bad service because we are in these very strong, very thick buildings. And here's a little cafe. I like the cafes in the museums in Paris. They do good jobs with the cafes. Some of them are really good. There's Angelina's in Versailles, the Museum of the Army at Les Invalides, and many others. Thank you so much for tuning in, Don. And Guy, I'm so happy you can hear me loud and clear. Whoa, look at that. Man, goddamn. Art for days here. Or for years, because as I mentioned, it'll take a lifetime to see all these works. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know, Gail. I appreciate that. Okay, everyone, I got 14 minutes. If you want to ask any last remaining questions, feel free to ask. And let me know if you have any other remaining questions. Again, I covered the history of the Louvre a few days ago, 2 different videos. Check those out. And this is The Wandering. I hope you enjoyed it. I think there's exits. I hope there's a few exits around me, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure what this is depicting. Let's see. This is really cool because it kind of looks like the Battle of Tours, but I might be wrong. Oh, this is the capture of Constantinople by the Ottoman Turks. Free entry only on Fridays. Every other day you have to pay. However, if you have the museum pass, it's included in it, and you can come as many times as you want. The museum pass, you could get it anywhere from 2, 4, or 6 days. Really great price, and you get to skip the line as well. And here, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a great... Oh, we could have not found a more fitting place to end, actually. That is awesome. Yes, Julie. See, this is the magic of wandering. Of wandering in a place. Because sometimes you just bump into the art that you just need to see. Not the art that you wanted to see. Not the art that you thought you should see, but the art that you needed to see. So I encourage you, if you ever come to the museum and you want to take that risk, roll that dice and just go without any plan, throw away the guide map, and do something completely random, walk around and let the art consume you by pure chance and faith. So here is one of the most famous French paintings in the entire history of France. Liberty leading the revolution. Rocky Versailles will be tomorrow. Stay tuned. There'll be 2 different broadcasts. One at Marie Antoinette's house, probably earlier in the day. And the 3 p.m. one will be inside Versailles. Or maybe reverse. I'll see what the times are. But 3 p.m. inside Versailles, definitely. 3 p.m. Paris time. So this is the famous painting by Eugène Delacroix, dating back to 1830. And it's liberty leading the people, celebrating the French Revolution. Multiple French revolutions. This image was kind of depicted in the film Les Mis as well. Wow. And this image is as iconic as in America we have George Washington across the Delaware crossing. This is as iconic. It might have even been inspired by that particular painting because it was painted around the same era. Beautiful. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is so beautiful. I love this. What is this? Oh, this is Francois Girard. We talked about Francois Girard yesterday at the Pantheon. He drew the mural of death. However, this one's opposite from death. This is not so much more. This is more Le Petit Mort, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So scenic. I would love to go to a woodland area that looks like that. If anyone knows any areas in Europe that looks very similar, kind of this like fairy tale woodlands, let me know. Wow, huge paintings over here. This one depicts... This one is important. I don't know off the top of my head why. Let's see. The Raft of Medusa, 1816. Another painting that has pretty iconic as well. Oh, Julie, cool. Boons Charmont Park in the 19th. Okay, cool. Thank you for the recommendation. Oh, wow. So I think it's appropriate that we end at the gift shop, but look up above the gift shop, because art is literally 360 degrees in this museum. Everywhere we look, there is art. Anita, you're so welcome. Julie, thank you so much for tuning in. Super picturesque and Belvedere with views. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, thank you for the recommendation. Oh, what is this? Lots of famous moments in history depicted in all these paintings. Yeah, if you have a 360 camera, bring it over here to the Musée du Louvre. It's absolutely breathtaking. All right, everyone. Let's end with the gift shop. If you have any last minute questions, feel free to ask. I'll be back on live 3 p.m. for the Architecture de la Défense, which is the architecture of La Défense, the modern cosmopolitan area of France, of Paris, I mean. This is so cool. These are sunglass cases. So, I'm not sure if people saw my Instagram stories. I'm not wearing them today, but I'm wearing another one. So I was wearing these when I did my Louvre Mona Lisa broadcast. I might get. Oh, I kind of want to take myself a mural I love these. They don't have any marking on the bottom or the top. That's so awesome. We didn't get to see this painting, but this is the one where Napoleon crowns himself. He actually commissioned an artist to draw it at the moment it was happening. And he even depicts himself right over here. Right there. That's him. The one in the black with the sketchbook.
Were they here?
Oh, I love this. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I gotta get one of these. So cool. I'm loving this gift shop. No, Wing Victory was in the beginning of the video, so just after this broadcast has ended, just go to the beginning, and I mentioned Wing Victory. Oh, look at these posters! Oh my god! Sorry, everyone. I just love posters. Oh, these are like folders, even cooler. Oh, so cool. Huh. And notebooks as well. Oh my god, everyone. I just may have 3 minutes. I might just buy a few things. This is so cool. I'm really loving this gift shop. I usually don't buy at gift shops, but I'm just in awe of all the cool things here. Carmen, you said you went crazy in there, loved it, spent the entire day from open till close. I couldn't get enough. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's such a beautiful museum, full with so much things to see. I mean, in the span of an hour, we saw plenty, and we enjoyed ourselves. We didn't go too fast, I think, and we learned about a few paintings, which was amazing. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in, watching this strictly personal video that I was sharing with family. You just happened to see it. Thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast. I'll be going back on live at 3 p.m., about an hour and 15 minutes from La Défense, the modern metropolitan center of France, of Paris I mean, and of France overall. And then I'll be going every day at 3 p.m. Paris time, tomorrow at Versailles, and then other places throughout the week. Saturday will be Montmartre, Sunday will be Père Lachaise, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Au revoir, et à bientôt. À bientôt.